Welcome to Virtualize Everything, where we try to inform and educate you about technology. Tonight's video is going to be about DNS over HTTPS, more precisely about what your ISP sees when you're using DNS over HTTPS. DNS over HTTPS is a security tool. But there are some people on the internet that are saying that DNS over HTTPS is a privacy tool. I want to show you what the difference between standard DNS and DNS over HTTPS is to your ISP. So I've set up a little lab using Firefox web browser, an Ubuntu desktop install on a VM that's running in VirtualBox, and a packet sniffer called Wireshark. This is probably the most well-known packet sniffer. So this first video is going to be quick, but I'm going to do my best to narrate with you what I'm doing as we run through this process. So I'm going to load Firefox and start Wireshark with a filter running. Now we load the website and we can see our DNS packets. Now I'm filtering all other packets out at the moment, and we're just looking for the DNS packet with the IP address response from Virtualize Everything. You can see that's 208.63.37.191. Now I'm just loading that IP address into a browser so you can see that it is Virtualize Everything's IP address. And we're going to remove the DNS filter and filter for the packets from this server, just to demonstrate to you that there are more packets available than just your DNS packets for a communication process between your web browser and your system to load a web page. Now for this demonstration, I care very little about what these packets are or doing, but as you can see, every packet has a source and a destination header that tells the computer or your ISP where it's coming from and where it's going. So in this second video, I've used the same lab, and I'm going to flush your cache settings and enable DNS over HTTPS so that you can see the difference in web traffic from using DNS over HTTPS to not using DNS over HTTPS, in a hopes of demonstrating to you why DNS over HTTPS is a security tool and not a privacy tool. So here you can see I'm enabling DNS over HTTPS in Firefox web browser. Now, I'm going to write down the IP address of Virtualize Everything so I have it for in a few minutes to show you some information. And I'm going to revert my filter back to DNS. Now I'm going to go and clear my filter so that we're looking at only new clean data. Now inside my VM, I'm going to load terminal, and I'm going to flush my DNS cache. This will make sure that a new DNS request query is sent to the DNS server. We've started logging. and we're loading virtualize everything. As you can see, there were no DNS requests. This was expected because your DNS is being sent over HTTPS on a different port and encrypted. Now, you can see though, just as before, there are numerous packets communicated between my VM and the host server. These packets still have a source file and a destination location. So what happens is your ISP may no longer be able to see your DNS records, but it still can see the IP addresses of the servers that you're going to. As you saw how easy it was for me just to enter the IP address into the browser and view the website, your ISP can use tools like reverse lookups or scripts to do the same thing and back out the data or the websites that you're visiting with little to no resistance. So, in short, this is why DNS over HTTPS makes a better security tool to stop hackers from manipulating your DNS files than it does a privacy tool. DNS even fails heavily as a security tool because it doesn't mask or hide the files that are communicated between the server and the host system. So a hacker that was gathering information on your network can still gather what websites you're going to. They might be hindered from gathering other information like logins or passwords, but DNS doesn't carry that information normally anyways. As always, have a good night.